second chance in the game.
My name is Joe Linboom. I'm the head football coach at Deer Creek Mackinac High School here in Illinois. Last season we were fortunate enough to win the Class 2A football state championship. Class 2A would be your smaller schools. In our case, schools from 300 to 400 enrollment. We're right at 330. What I want to present to you in this particular clinic presentation is our wingback game. This would be our off-tackle perimeter game to complement our fullback game. And really, with us, everything starts with the fullback. That's where we put our best player. We start there. So this would be the rest of our running game and everything that complements that. So I guess the first thing I should get out of the way before I go any further is just the clarification on the language. Our numbering system and how we communicate our plays is a little bit different than the traditional wing tee, and I know we'll have a lot of traditional wing tee guys that'll look at videos like this. So when I talk about our sweep, it's the buck sweep that everybody's familiar with. It's just labeled a little bit differently. The way we call our plays, we number the backs, and then the holes are numbered odds to the left, evens to the right. So 27 sweep would be a sweep to the left, 38 sweep would be with the other halfback, a sweep to the right, as opposed to numbering it by series like you see on the right. Same thing with our off-tackle power play, numbered by the back and left or right. Now, we do run no huddle. We communicate our plays off of wristbands, and those wristbands, for those of you that have worked with them, you know that your real estate's pretty limited there. And so the traditional counter crisscross, we thought about abbreviating that down to CTR, XX, or something like that. But we said, well, what is the play? Well, it's really a reverse. You start the play in one direction, it comes back the other way with the double handoff. So we simply call it reverse, but it's counter crisscross. Reverse is just less verbiage for our players. This one is quite a bit different, and there's a long story behind this that I won't get into, but what wing tee guys traditionally call the down option with the play side guard logging and then working outside, we call belly option. What you would call down, we simply call belly. That's the off-tackle fullback play, and this is what comes off of it. And then we have a rocket play, which doesn't really look like anything else in the 20 series, but I've noticed that a lot of wing tee coaches kind of have to put it somewhere, and so they put it in there, just a faster way to get the ball in the perimeter. And we call it rocket as well. So I'm going to start with the sweep play. If you go back to this particular chart here, this is by far, the sweep play is by far our number one perimeter play. Typically at the end of a season when we break down our stats, our best play is the trap, and then right behind it is the sweep. At heart, we're a trap sweep team. Fake or give to the fullback, then swing the ball outside. These plays come quite a bit further down in the playbook for us. We don't run these plays nearly as much, but we feel like we're really good at this one. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that 27-38 sweep. This is really standard. We block it pretty much the same way all wing tee teams block it. Just looking at your general rules on the play side from wingback to tight end to tackle, just look for example, if I'm the right wing back, I'm looking inside gap to down to linebacker. When we get to our guards, of course, our play side guard is going to kick out the first man outside the wing back. We really work hard with these guards on getting depth. One drill that we usually break out at least once per week is we'll take two cones and really set them a good 2 feet off the line of scrimmage. And as our offensive linemen are getting their pulls, for example, if we're running 38 sweep to our right, we'll have the cone sit out there so that as they turn around, they're really getting depth. And so they can turn the corner to get those pull blocks, especially the backside guy. He's got to get even a little bit more depth. So center, if you've got a nose guard on you, why go ahead and take him. If not, step play side. A-gap, the fullback will fill in on the backside. And then on the back side, we're just going to make sure that we don't get any penetration as people are trying to come through the back door. Backside end, we are a double tight team, so we feature 90% of the time 2 tight ends. We're looking for him to get downfield, work his way across the formation, and see if he can't get on the safety for that last block. So that's pretty standard. As far as the backfield is concerned, again, this is pretty much by the book. As the quarterback reverse pivots, his first step, he's going to come straight back off that midline, and he's going to go ahead and fake to the fullback. The second step, the ball is now hidden. And I will say one thing about being in the age of the spread with everybody wanting to go shotgun, there is a big price to be paid for going shotgun, and that price is you lose a little bit of deception. All right, so when that quarterback's in shotgun, everybody on defense can see the ball. But when you're under center, and again, that quarterback here, or even if you're looking at me from the defensive point of view, once that quarterback turns around and he's right here, the ball's in tight, it's completely hidden from you, and the linebackers completely lose sight of the football for a split second. So we like that. We like being under center for that reason. So like I said, his first step back, he's going to go ahead and fake to that fullback. Second step, he's going to give to the halfback, and then on the third step, he's out into his waggle fake. Quarterback has to have quick feet, all right, because those guards are pulling, and you've got to get out of there. So you do need a guy with some athletic feet, if nothing else, to run your quarterback position. Of course, fullback, we're going to fill the backside A gap. We'd love to see that guy get tackled, because if the linebackers are condensing on you, they can't get outside to the sweep. Backside wingback, if you're from a halfback alignment, you'll just cross over, run through the heels of the fullback. You're going to take that inside handoff, looking for an L-shaped cut. All right, so head towards the sideline, make the defense think that you're going to the sideline. You set up your blockers, make your plant, you're north-south, more of an L-shaped cut. We don't like what we call the banana route, where I'm the halfback, I come across, I get the ball from the quarterback, and now I'm right back up into the line of scrimmage. We like it to be east-west and then north-south on the cut to set up the blocks. And that's pretty standard. I think that's how most wing T coaches would run their sweep play. Nothing new there. So here we see the diagram. Again, front side, this would be our 38 sweep here. We're looking for, against a typical 4-4 defense here. We're looking for gap, nobody there. We can go ahead and head to linebacker. We do have a C-gap guy that our tight end's going to have to block. We're protecting that A-gap. You're a little bit vulnerable here as that guard leaves. All right, so the center and the tackle are going to work together to secure that. The biggest enemy of the sweep, penetration. You got to work hard to stop it every day in practice. Of course, the fullback will fill through the backside A-gap. Again, really want to emphasize getting that depth. I think we do a pretty good job with it. When we get to the video here in a second, I think you're going to see some pretty good depth by our guards. We tell the guards, there's never an excuse for you to get hung up. There's never an excuse where, well, this guy was penetrating or our offensive line was being driven off the ball and I just ran into people right here. There's no such thing as you running into people. You didn't get deep enough in your pull depth, okay? So we want to get out and around any penetration. And just like most wing T teams, we start off the ball as far as possible. When we line up, we want the guard, tackle, and tight ends helmets through the hip of the center. So there really shouldn't be any issue with you not getting out to your responsibility. Again, stepping down here to protect backside. If we've got a defensive end that's coming through this C gap, we'll go ahead and keep the tight end at home. If he's an outside guy that's going to go ahead and respect the waggle fake, well, we'll go ahead and release you down the field. So it kind of depends on what we're looking at there. Going 27 to the other side, again, you can see it's pretty similar. We've got our gap rules here, kicking out. We've got guards getting depth, fullback filling backside. And we'll take a look at a few plays here. All right, so here we have a traditional 4-4 defense. Got your 4 defensive linemen here. Got your 4 linebackers. All right, you got the corners, the safeties. So we're going to be running 38 sweep right at you here. So we start the play. We're blocking down here. Wingbacks coming inside. Here we got the 2 guards pulling outside. Okay, really working to get on this guy's inside. We definitely want that helmet to the inside. We like where we're fitted up right here. We've got the backside guard pulling through. His job is to look for the first different colored jersey that he sees come through. In this particular case, he decides to go all the way to the corner, and we like that matchup. Again, why is that kid playing corner? All right, is it to take on guards in the sweep game? Probably not. Guy probably signed up to play cornerback so he can go out and cover wide receivers. This really isn't his game. And of course, our guards love it. Okay, you get to pull around the corner, get out front where people in the stands can maybe see you, and block a little corner who might be 50 pounds lighter than you. That's a pretty good deal. And the back will go ahead and read and work his way towards the sideline here. So go ahead and go one more time here. Again, this is a cornerback right here, and you can see at the snap, he's definitely playing his pass responsibility. He's backpedaling off, and we like that. Okay, and again, same play from the end zone shot, blocking down, blocking down. This guy's going to give us a little bit of trouble, but you don't have to hold that block very long. Our speed sweep will get around pretty quickly. We're looking for guys right here that can run. All right, these are by far our fastest linemen, our two guards. I think most wing T teams would be very similar in that regard. And you see the seam there. One thing I will tell you is you'll get some young running backs who always want to try to outrun the blocking and just run around the corner. So we tell those guys that you've got to look for that seam and really get in close behind your backside guard. This is the guy that's going to lead you through the hole. This is the shot we're always looking for. You got a nice seam to run through there. Get right in behind, close enough to reach out with your hand and touch that guard's back. We like this look quite a bit. We know if we're in that position, there's probably a good outcome that's coming. And then it's just the hash number sideline route. Pretty nice pickup for us there. Another example here. This time going to the left. We got motion here. Just a tad. Again, front side guys, we're getting our down blocks here. This is the guy that we're looking to kick out. Looking to get inside leverage. Maybe could have done a little bit better there, but you can basically see we've got the wall set up here, kick out here. Guard's going to lead through here. Good shape so far. Nice solid pickup there. From the end zone view. Again, pretty nice down block here, not too bad. Little space there to run through, but all things considered, we're in pretty good shape here. Got a pretty bad camera view here, but it is a pretty good look at it. You'll see it better from the end zone here. Same play. Again, we've got our guard here, the defensive back. At the sideline for another nice gain. So this will be 27. Now we're going to head towards the top of the screen there. You got the defensive end coming through the C gap. Tight end will take him. Wingback can come off, set up here. Got the play side guard looking to kick out. And then this guy will be on the linebacker there. And you see how that wingback actually has his hand. We like that close relationship. Get right in behind your lead blocker, the guard, and then look to go again, hash, number, sideline. Then it's a race. And And you can see it from the end zone, same play. You'll see the down blocks, kick, lead through. And right there's your seam. Work the play this way, get this guy flowing outside. It sets up your blocker for you, and then we'll cut right inside. That's the lane, that's the alley. Now pop it outside and go. Once more here, a little tighter. Again, we got the kick out, got the guard coming through. Pretty close relationship with the runner right behind him. Now pop it outside and go. Could have done a better job with the stiff arm, but we'll take the first down. One more time from the end zone camera. So what does power give us that the sweep doesn't? There has to be a reason, and for us, there's two. Number one, personnel. It just so happened that we were blessed this year to have a fullback who is not only a really good runner, but also a pretty physical blocker. And if you're constantly running sweep, his role, the fullback's role, is as a faker. Okay, he's just faking his trap up the middle. But when you run power, now you give him a chance to be a lead blocker on a perimeter defender, defensive end, outside linebacker. We ran power to the right only simply because our left guard was quite a bit bigger. He weighed 220, which is huge for us. The right guard was more of a traditional guard for us, a guard that we like to pull on our sweeps as he works his way around the corner and into the secondary. He typically goes about 170 for us. So we thought, well, that's a pretty good combination. We've got a 200-pound fullback kicking out. We got a backside guard that weighs 220. Our left wing back, who's going to be the ball carrier in this particular case, he was a bigger runner. He weighed about 200 pounds, which again is huge for us, but not the fastest guy in the world. So our off-tackle play, for the most part, was a nice play where we could pick up 4 to 5 yards and just kind of keep the chains going. The second reason that we like the power is that if you have defenses, especially linebackers that key guards, this is something to take that away. And I'm talking the play side guard. So for example, if I'm an inside linebacker and I'm lined up over the play side guard and I'm keying him, he's going to take me to sweep when he pulls. He's going to take me to belly when he pulls, belly option. If you ran a counter play that ended up going to our left, he can take you there too. This is the one play where his job, okay, if I'm the right guard and we're running power to the right, his job is gap, down backer. He's right here. So if I'm a linebacker and I'm looking at that guard and he steps down, to me it kind of looks like trap. So I probably step forward, which is what we want you to do. Okay, so this is at least one play we have where you can't key the play side guard. Backside guard, all right, he's pulling, you can key him, but for that backside linebacker that might be keying him, you got to work all the way across. All right, that's a lot of traffic to work through to get to the point of attack. Very difficult to do. So for this reason and this reason only, I think it's nice to be able to run power a few times per game, especially when you need that crucial 3rd and 2 conversion and teams are really doing a good job keying your guards. Now, at least on the play side, you do lose that key. Again, we run it just like most teams run the power play. On the play side, everybody's gap down linebacker, makes it real consistent with your rules. Of course, the backside guard is the guard that's going to pull and lead through. Make sure you get some depth so you don't get caught up with any type of penetration on the front side. Backside tackle and center are going to make sure that we secure that backside A-gap since we're leaving and we're a little bit vulnerable right there. And then the backside end, again, as always, you can go ahead and work your way downfield for hopefully that last block. As far as the backfield's concerned, again, pretty typical. The quarterback's going to reverse pivot, take the ball to that wing back. Here's what's a little bit different with us. I know a lot of wing T teams, they like to have that quarterback bootleg out after he gives the power handoff. But for us, because we don't run the power that often, we'll go ahead and have that quarterback, as soon as it reverses out and makes that handoff, to go ahead and continue outside. We feel like that keeps the perimeter at bay because we had an athletic QB who would keep the ball from time to time. And I think for a lot of defensive players, if they see that QB rolling out, it kind of holds them for a second and sets up that kick out block because we want to work inside them. So we will have him just go ahead and roll play side as opposed to bootlegging out. And we bootleg out on all of our other plays anyway, so it's a nice change-up for us. Fullback's going to kick out the first man outside the wing back. Make sure your head's to the inside. That's one thing we stressed there. And then backside wing back, just like the sweep, come through the heels of the fullback and get the handoff, and now just follow the guard through the hole. Again, the tighter you can get on him, the better. So here's how we might run this play against a 33. Show you a clip from a team that played this particular defense against us. Almost like a 5-3 with a strong backer. This kid was an all-stater. I think they set him deeper so he could read and flow a little bit better. But again, front side, you got your gap down backer. Backside's pulling through. Fullback's got the kick out, motioning through. Quarterback's just going to come straight out, hopefully to hold this guy at bay for just a second so we can get inside. So this particular play right here is going to go, again, like I said, we were exclusively powered to the right. So here's that three-man look that I just showed you. Here's the backers. These would be kind of like your outside linebackers. And we felt with these guys off the ball already pre-snap, we had a pretty good chance of getting out on them and running right inside of those guys. So a little pre-snap motion there. Got the fullback head to the inside right there. We've got the wall set up. You'll see it a little bit better from the end zone camera here. Then just find your seam and take off, and nice little gain for us there. All right, so again, we're to the right only, so we're going to be running this way. You'll see the down blocks here. You'll see the fullback come out, backside guard comes around. Let's start this here. And again, from a linebacker's point of view, if you're reading this guard and he steps down, and these guys are flowing pretty good outside, but probably key in fullback here, but it is something worth considering if you feel like you've got guys that are really reading that guard heavy. But we've got the double team right here on the nose. Got a nice kick out there with a real physical block. Guards coming through. Now we're into the secondary. Got one more here. Again, like I said, we're exclusively power right because of our personnel. So very similar. See, even before we get to the line of scrimmage, you can see how this play is going to develop for us. We really like it when we get that type of a look. Got the kick out right there. Guards up on the linebacker. They over pursued, so in this case, the back cut it back inside, and we're in the end zone. Yeah, end zone shot here in a second. Again, got your down blocks here. Linebacker's going to be picked up by the pulling guard, and then you can see the huge cutback lane from the running back's point of view. And we're in. Like I said, we're not a big power team, but we did find occasion where it paid off pretty handsomely for us, especially in the playoffs as we got into the later rounds. Now, next perimeter play is the reverse. Big drawback here, you got the double handoff, and that's pretty risky. It takes a long time to develop because it's a reverse, so there's more opportunities for the defense to get some penetration and hit you for a loss. But we feel like you absolutely have to run this play if you're a big bootleg team, because if you don't, every time action goes away from the quarterback and he boots out, then the backside defensive end can go upfield and play the quarterback and sack him on waggles. And if a large part of your play action game is waggles and bootlegs and you don't have this play, it's going to be really tough. all right, because that defensive end really doesn't have anything else to do. So here's what I'm basically talking about. So from the offensive point of view, I'd be the left defensive end, and I'm reading this wingback go away on power. This wingback right here, he's going to go away on sweep as the quarterback comes out backside. Well, if I'm playing here, it's not my job to be making the tackle over there on sweeps or anything else. So as soon as the quarterback hands off, I can just run up the field so that when it is a waggle, I'm right there for the sack. And again, that's a big part of our passing attack. So even though this isn't always the biggest play for us in terms of total yardage, it's worth making those defensive ends play you honestly for when you want to run bootlegs and waggles. You have to have this play in if you're serious about bootleg, waggle, play action. So that's the main reason. Very similar to any type of a counter block. And again, this is where there's a lot of carryover with your wing T offense. So on the play side, the rules are the same as for power. Gap down, linebacker. Now, we do block this a little bit differently as far as if we see a 5-man or a 4-man front. I'll get to that in just a second. But for the most part, if we have an inside shade defensive end, our tight ends usually aren't that big. They're usually basketball players. So we're going to go ahead and block out on the outside linebacker, and that'll be our kick out. Now, if the defensive end is already outside, we can go ahead and go gap down linebacker, or sometimes, since we're kind of setting up a waggle type look, we can go ahead and run our route. It just kind of depends on the team that we see that week, what our better option is. Again, you're going to be blocking backside because your guard's going to be leaving if you're the center. Backside guard's going to kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage. Make sure your head's inside as always. Backside tackle. So this is the difference between a 4-man front and a 5-man front. If it's a 5-man front, you're probably going to be covered. We're going to go ahead and keep you at home and base block that guy. He's probably going to be slanting inside because we run so much trap, but you've got that guy. Now, if you're uncovered, it's probably a 4-man front, and we're going to go ahead and have you be the lead puller through the hole. Okay? Now, if you're the backside end, and again, if the tackle's covered, now you're the guy that pulls, and if he's uncovered, you don't have to pull. You can just work your way downfield for a touchdown block. Backfield rules, again, it's basically very similar as far as the QB to running waggle. That's basically what you're trying to fake here. So for example, if we're going to run the reverse to our left, the quarterback's going to reverse out. He's going to hand off to the first running back. It's going to look like sweep at this point. Now, this halfback, as soon as he gets the ball, he's going to be handing off to the wingback coming back inside of him. So if I'm the QB, I'm going to reverse out. I'm going to make my handoff here. And now I want to put my hands on my hip. I want to look downfield. And I want to get that defensive end thinking I've got the ball. And I'm just kind of inviting him to get that big sack. Okay? Fullback, just like power, okay? This goes in the traditional 30 series for wing T teams. I want to kick out that defensive end, head to the inside so he can't chase the ball down the line of scrimmage. Play side wingback, again, you're going to receive the handoff just like power. You're going to give an inside handoff to the backside wing. Now, honestly, we only run this play a couple times a game. Some games we don't run it at all if we have no problem getting outside on waggles and bootlegs. But despite the fact that we run it a minimal amount of times, you need to practice this, all right? So in practice, at some point, at least once a week, we're going to have our 2 lines of wingbacks, and they'll practice handing the ball off to each other, just like you do the handoff drill at the beginning of the season. We do that all year, all right, because they will be handing off to each other at some point, okay? So that's definitely got to be practiced. Backside wingback. No motion here, you'll get there too quick. So the wing back is going to get the ball. There will be no motion. Like I said, he'll receive that inside handoff and follow the puller, whether it be the tackle or the tight end, through the hole. So for example, all right, let's say you've got a 4-4 look here. Everybody's got their gap down backer to the play side. But here's where it changes, okay? And you got to call out the defense here and make sure that everybody's on the same page. So this is the guy that we want to kick out. This defensive end in the C gap will block out here, and the ball's going to head right up inside there. I didn't draw that because then the diagram gets pretty messy, but handoff here, inside, right through the gap. Fullback here, again, he's going to be on the inside of this end, head inside so the end can't get in the hip pocket and chase the ball down the line. If it's a 5-man front, again, with the tight end to the play side, we could have him go gap down backer, but the problem with that is this. Some of your defensive ends are very good at reacting to a down block from the tight end. So again, imagine I'm a defensive end. Here's my tight end. He steps down, I squeeze with him, and I look to play something coming at me, which is coming at him. It's the reverse, okay? So if we get a defensive end that does a good job squeezing down on a down block, we'll tell that tight end, run your route, okay? So a really savvy defensive end, he's used to the difference between a down block and this guy releasing on his route. He sees the tight end release straight up the field on his route. Now he's thinking, okay, that's a pass route. I'll come after the quarterback, which is what we want here. So again, if we got a savvy guy, we'll go ahead and release him on that route because it does look different to a guy that's really well coached, okay? Now, in this case, we found that if we always pull the guard and tackle, that can be a hard pickup for the fullback as this guy slants inside, especially those 3-3 looks. So in this case, we'll have him stay at home. All right, we're going to pull the tight end through instead, and this works really well for us because our tight ends are basketball players for the most part. They're fast, they can run. So we'll pull that tight end through there. It's much easier for the fullback to kick out on this guy than the tackle. And then, of course, everything else is the same. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run a 25 reverse, which for us is to the left. That means this wingback is going to get the ball. We'll be handing off here, and then the second handoff will occur next. All right, so we've got the upfield action here, hopefully drawn to the QB, which is what we want. And again, I never get tired of watching this. On film, you can see the lane even before the ball carrier's gotten to the line of scrimmage. You know there's going to be a happy ending here. And then we just hit the outside seam and we're home free. Now, one thing I will point out on that one, okay, we did have a miscommunication here. You're actually going to see all 3 guys pull, which is really rare. In this particular case, the tight end did not have to do so, and it does look kind of funny. But I wanted to show this clip just so you could see the upfield action. So show you one more time here. So I don't want anybody watching this thinking, wow, they pull all 3 guys. That's pretty radical, but certainly not necessary here. We could have left one guy at home. But I did want to emphasize that upfield action. Now imagine that we are going to run some sort of a waggle or bootleg here. Let's say it's a waggle. You can almost imagine how tough that would be. All right, you got 2 guys come at the field. How tough is it going to be for the QB to get off the pass at this point? And it almost looks like they're locked in with the eyes there. And so we'll just come back inside, and we got all kinds of room to work with. So, like I said, we don't run this play a lot, a couple times a game, just to keep defenses honest. And from the other side here. From the end zone view. All right, one more look at the reverse. This is against a typical 4-man front here. 4-4 look. Got 4 down linemen, 2 inside, 2 outside linebackers. Of course, the wingback's going to be getting the ball running to our left here. So you can see the tight end's got that outside fan block. The defensive end is going to come right through that C gap. There's the kick out. We're on the inside shade or shoulder here. and the wingback comes inside. One tackle away from taking it all the way. From the end zone here. Again, this guy's playing heavy on the tight end, but we will get the C gap here. We'll get the down blocks. We're going to come from the backside with a kick out and the pull through. Back does a nice job reading that block. Nice little pickup for us. All right, so as we continue our attack, the belly option. Now, we're not a big option team. I don't like the added risk of the pitch. So we usually put this play in last in the playbook and only use it when we feel like we're probably in a situation where we're playing an elite defense and there's going to be that really crucial third down that we have to convert, and they've been stopping the sweep. So basically, what we're looking for when we call this play is the defensive ends that we normally kick out on bellies or sweeps. What if they're playing us tight and they're really closing down and they're not giving us much of a hole to run through? Those are the types of guys that we like to option off of. And the other thing too, personnel. If you've got a really athletic quarterback, this is another way to feature him. And we did have one this year, so he rushed for about 250 yards. Not a lot, but certainly enough to convert some crucial third downs during the season. So again, very similar to the belly, which is the off-tackle play. So to the play side, nothing changes. And this is one of the greatest, maybe the greatest things about the wing tee. It's the carryover from play to play. So the rules, just like belly, the only exception is the play side guard, instead of kicking out the end, we want to option him. Okay? And in fact, we run this play so little, one of the first clips I'm going to show you, we had the play side guard head out towards that outside linebacker as if he was going to block him, and then remember at the last second, oh yeah, I've got to peel around. Because that's the guy we're going to option and hopefully pitch off of. We'd really like to pitch off of this one unless he's slow playing us. On the backside, we're just going to scoop towards the play side. So let's say we have an option play headed to the right here, and I'm the backside guard, backside tackle, backside tight end. We're just going to step hard inside, make sure that nobody's crossing our face, and hopefully we're getting up to next level. And that's pretty basic football. As far as the backfield's concerned, we're going to reverse pivot on our belly option. We like the quarterback to flash fake because we want to get the ball outside quick, and more often than not, we're looking to pitch. So the fake does not have to be very good. Just the fact that the main rusher is coming hard off tackle is enough to hold those linebackers. And then, like I said, your pitch key is the outside linebacker or defensive end, whoever is the first man outside the wingback. Fullback's going to run his off-tackle path. Hopefully he gets tackled. That'd be great. And then the backside wingback, of course, is going to maintain his pitch relationship. We like that to be 5 by 5. So again, if the corner of the desk, actually, if the edge of the screen is the quarterback, I want to be 5 yards off, 5 yards in front, so I can catch that pitch at proper relationship. So basically, this first play I'm going to show you, we're going to be blocking down. This is the one I was saying where it looks like the guard wants to block him and then remembers, oh yeah, I've got to come inside. That's the guy we want to option off of. He's going to slow play, we'll keep. So we're going to be running this towards the top of the screen to our left here, just like you saw diagrammed. This would be the guy that's the pitch key. Going to try to steal the linebackers, and you can see we don't want that. He's in a bad habit. That's our pitch key, and then he, I guess at the last minute, remembers, oh yeah, I got to let that guy go. Now this isn't real aggressive as far as this guy attacking the QB, so our athletic QB is just going to go ahead and keep that. And you can kind of see the sticks there at the top. This was a semifinal football game. That was a huge pickup for us for a first down. And I'll show it full speed here. Quarterback, see that quick flash fake. Slow play, he's out on the pitch. I'll keep it myself for a first down. It's nicely done for a team that doesn't run that a lot from the backside or from the end zone camera, I should say. See that pitch relationship all the way? We kind of like that. That looked pretty decent. Show you one more here. Now, this is a case where we had a guy who was playing us pretty tough in terms of running our sweep. Now, normally we'd like to pitch off of this guy, but you'll see right here, he's attacking hard. We'd like to get, this guy's got bad pitch relationship here. We'd like to get that spacing a little bit better as far as getting out in front here. He's a little tight right there. We thought for sure when we called this that he would pitch. You can see how aggressive the end is, which is why we called the play. But he's a pretty athletic kid, and you can see that he's just going to go ahead and step right around that. And we're a little tight here, but again, we're not a big option team, all right? This is something that we put in late in the year, but we do pitch the ball downfield and pick up a few yards. So let's go ahead and show it full speed here. Looks a little bit smoother. You see we got that 2nd and about 7 to convert here against a really good team. And this is a team that was making it tough for us to run the sweep, so got pretty close from the end zone here. You'll notice the guard actually slips on this play, stumbles a little bit. You see the pitch is a little bit behind, but the main reason we ran it to the left is because it just so happens that our right halfback had the better hands and he could catch a pitch a little bit behind. And so finally our last perimeter play, the Rocket. The Rocket's a great play. A lot of teams have a lot of success with it. We're a little bit better at running the sweep. Main reason being I feel like with the Rocket, because the ball's in the air and there's no fake to any other back, it's pretty easy for the defense to spot right away. I also feel like most defenses that are well coached can keep that outside contained and force the ball carrier to come back inside where you have the linebackers pursuing from the inside out. So for us, it's not a play that we run a lot, but when we get those defenses that are really playing tight and inside, trying to stop the fullback game, trying to stop the sweep, which really isn't an outside play. We're just kicking out on the other side of the wingback. This is a nice play. Also, when you get blitzing linebackers, there's no inside-out pursuit because they're on the line of scrimmage. So in those scenarios, we like to run Rocket. Go ahead and go through the blocking rules. The great thing about Rocket is, for us, running primarily out of double tight, every once in a while unbalanced, the rules are really simple. We're just trying to get to the outside. We're just racing the defense to the sideline. So for our play side wingback, he's looking at the furthest defender, usually a cornerback out there trying to get to his outside shoulder. We're going to the sideline all the way on this play. So then the play side tight end, he would have the next defender, usually an outside linebacker. It might be a safety. And then everybody else, we're just trying to scoop to the second level. Traditionally, they might call this fire on backer, if you're more familiar with the standard wing tee terminology. So again, because the ball's headed outside so fast, we don't feel like we have to block anything on the line of scrimmage. So for example, if I'm the play side tackle and I've got a defensive end lined up inside of me, don't even worry about him. That ball's going to be out there, lickety-split. So what I mean by scoop to the next level is play side foot. If we're going this way, what would be 38 Rocket for us. Play side foot here, and then I'm going to dip and rip and try to look for a backside linebacker coming. And what we always tell our linemen is, don't block where the linebacker is, block him where he's going to be. Lead him like a quarterback leads a receiver running a pass route. So when we practice this, we'll set up a linebacker to the inside. And I always tell our guys, you're not going to get the guy head up, and you're certainly not going to get the guy on the other side of you. He's going to be chasing the football. But look for the first backside linebacker, and if he's over here and I'm stepping here, I have a chance to meet him as he's pursuing, because the linebackers are going to see the ball really easily on Rocket. Backfield rules, pretty simple here. Quarterback's going to reverse pivot. We really want to catch that pitch behind our tight end. We want that ball out there fast, so it's just practice of reversing out, giving him a nice, easy, catchable ball. And again, it's all about the timing. It's a simple play in concept. It looks so simple on the whiteboard, but it takes a lot of practice to get the timing down. Because if that pitch is behind the wingback or in front or too low and he has to stop and adjust to it, now you're not getting out as fast as you'd like to on the perimeter. So the timing in practice is very important. If you want to put in this play, you got to put in a little bit of time. Of course, fullback will just stay out of the way and run opposite, kind of his play off, and he runs enough as it is, so he doesn't mind that every once in a while. And then again, we want to catch that pitch at full speed if we at all can, and then we're headed for the sideline. Only cut back when it's absolutely not available to you. So we'll go ahead and run what we would call a 27 rocket to our left here. It really is that simple. This particular play is run out of unbalanced. Sometimes we play these defenses that really condense in, as you can see here, to stop the fullback. That's when we like to swing it outside. So again, here's our unbalanced here. We've moved a tackle over here, and we'll be running towards the bottom of the screen. So again, we're working outside here, all right? We would have liked to have gotten on the other side of this kid, all right? Coming up here, would have liked to have had the head more to the front side as opposed to head up on him, but it's just enough. And now talking about the downfield effort here, so this would be our left tackle. Again, looking to get downfield here. We got the fullback coming through, love to see that. Okay, we're getting downfield. We got bodies on the ground looking for a peel back block right there. Got two guys taken out. And then we're just skating that sideline. So again, one more time at full speed here. Unbalanced left, 27 rockets, what we'd call this. You can see that rocket toss isn't real fast. We'd like to get it a little bit faster, but we're not a rocket team. We're a sweep team. I think we run the sweep almost scientifically. That one's not quite as good for us as far as execution, but it wasn't horrible either. Running towards, again, the top of the screen to the left here. Again, you can almost see pre-snap that we had the perimeter there. Again, just trying to race everybody to the sideline here. Taking off outside, that's pretty good. No problem right there. Now we're looking for this guy. Got his head to the outside, and we're home free. And then from the end zone, same play. Sometimes there's something to be said for angles. That play looked a little quicker from that angle. Again, same concept. Going out of unbalanced again. Really like the effort right here with the stock block. Staying on, staying on, staying on. And then again from the end zone. You can see the path of the lineman really trying to stretch hard to their left. Now this play doesn't go for a lot of yards, but I do like where we catch the pitch. And you can kind of see we've got some real estate to work with out here. That was kind of the idea. This particular team reacted well to it. Again, headed outside, headed outside. Couldn't quite get our head across. All right. And also this particular player did a pretty good job. Really flowing outside with us. But I do like getting that pitch that far outside. Good job by the back. A very modest 5-yard gain, but that's another look at rocket for us. So that's basically our perimeter attack. Like I said, 80% of that for us is the sweep. Every once in a while we'll come back with the reverse rocket power just to throw a little bit more at the defense. And from time to time, big games, playoff games, those little plays, sometimes that makes all the difference in the world when you're trying to convert a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 6 and keep that game-winning drive alive. I've got my email here again. If anybody wants to see any more huddle stuff, I'd be more than happy to share some film with you. If you want to see several more clips than what I had with my available time, feel free. Thank you.